The village of Umueze was in a frenzy. For weeks the people had searched every nearby forest, village and stream for Prince Ibekwe. They knew that only he could represent them in the final meeting that would determine the fate of the oil land and the future of their community. Some who managed to find him in distant places were left disappointed. Ibekwe, firm in his conviction, refused to speak to any of them. His reason remained the same. The village had not yet agreed to abolish the Osu tradition. He had already married Amaka, and unless they agreed to treat her and her people as freeborns, he would never return. But then something changed. A respected elder, Pa Madwabuchi, met the prince in a forest clearing and broke the news gently. "Your father, the king, is very sick. He can barely speak." Those words pierced Ibekwe's heart. He dropped to his knees and wept bitterly, holding his head in his hands. Wiping his tears, he stood up. "I must go to him," he said. "If I can't change the world, at least I can carry my father for treatment." When he arrived at the village with his traveling sack, a wave of jubilation swept Umueze. Men and women shouted, children danced, and drums beat across the village square. Everyone followed him as he walked toward the palace. But he turned to them and said, "Please give me time with my father." The palace was quiet. King Obedike was now able to sit and speak a little. His eyes lit up at the sight of his son. They embraced tightly. "My son," the king whispered, "you came back." Soon the chiefs arrived. The king raised his hand slowly and said, "In 3 days, the meeting with the government and oil company will take place. Ibekwe, represent me." But Ibekwe bowed his head and replied, "My king, I have already taken an Osu wife. I am no longer fit to act for the village, lest they blame any misfortune on me or my wife. If the people abolish the tradition, I will go. If not, I will not." The room fell silent. The next morning, they gathered again. Chief Nwafor pleaded, "Ibekwe, the bird that pecks the fruit of the Iroko tree must not forget who planted it. Your father planted you." Chief Okeke added, "The river that forgets its source will dry up. This land is yours too." Still, Ibekwe stood his ground. By evening, he packed his bag again. "I will take the king with me for treatment," he said. But the elders objected. "Our king cannot leave. His healing has begun here." With heavy heart, Ibekwe prepared to leave alone. It was now just 1 day to the final meeting. Then Chief Mazi Udoka, one of the oldest and wisest elders, stood up. "Let me speak," he said. "Let the prince attend the meeting. If he proves our joint ownership and secures the signed agreement with the oil company and the government, then we shall take it as a sign from the gods. That will be our proof to abolish the Os tradition, for what the gods allow to be fruitful is no longer cursed." He continued, "A stubborn goat dies in the marketplace, but a wise man finds a middle path." Everyone agreed. Even Ibekwe nodded slowly. "Then I will go," he said. The next morning, Prince Ibekwe was dressed in royal attire. The villagers sang as he left for the city. At the meeting, he stood tall, confident, and armed with maps, history, and witnesses. He presented his case with clarity and strength. At last, all parties signed the agreement. Umueze was included. The oil land was secured. His return was like a festival. Drums rolled, the people danced. The king stood from his chair, lifted a hand, and declared, "From this day, the Os tradition is abolished." Cheers filled the air. Some of the Osses were immediately named as chiefs. The people lifted Ibekwe on their shoulders, chanting, "Ibekwe, Ibekwe, the Prince of Freedom." A grand marriage ceremony was held in the palace for Ibekwe and Amaka. The once forbidden love became the pride of the village, bringing healing, unity, and prosperity. And so, what was once cursed became the blessing of all.